Hello and welcome back to the Book of Scrim. If you're new here, my name is Martin Heron, as you'll probably tell from that logo thing that I've started putting up from my videos. Okay, so another sketchbook. I'm going to try and make this brief. This has been a handmade sketchbook gifted to me. Really nice little sketchbook. This isn't wood, this is the material, whatever was used for the cover, would effect, but really quite nice. Okay, so let's see here. So as you know, I've just kind of uploading some of these, well, quite a few of these now, from sketchbooks from over the years, sort of just to kind of archive them here on, sort of document them in some format. But it gives me a chance to look back over them and sort of reassess what I'm doing. Okay. 2021 towards the end, or 9/21, that's what's that, September. So this is what I was into doing at the time. Again, Scrim, as you're all aware, of drywall tape or jointing tape used in the building industry, easily got at hardware stores, etc. So this is what I've been using and staining with marker pens, inks, etc. So here's some of those pieces. I really do quite like working in the sketchbooks, as you've probably realized by now. So it just gives a chance to kind of experiment and play with some of the forms. So as you can tell, the cutout shapes of some of these will appear in pieces. Reuse works. Always reuse the materials, or the offcuts, etc. all can kind of like put together and form some sort of make kind of influence another piece of work. So yeah, I got into these forms. I quite like these. Really did mean to do a lot more with them and didn't really. I just kept going with whatever I was in the flow of doing at the time. But there are still things here to revisit. Now, I have been asked on these videos why, when I stay quiet, which isn't very often, why I don't sort of like put some sort of gentle background sound on, or some music on. I don't always think that is necessary, and I think sometimes that just detracts from the actual work you're looking. Depends if you've been making the work while listening to a particular piece of music, because I think that can get in your head and maybe do things to you. I don't always work listening to music. Sometimes I do. Quite often it's just the silence of, I really like working in silence. It's just the noises in my own head that I respond to. But other times I will have maybe an audiobook in the background, something like that. I do quite like that, because I quite like the language. Especially if it's has been really well written and it's been well read. I think that is quite nice. The language, text and words sort of like floating around, and you can actually pick up some really nice kind of sort of poetic pieces, and pieces of prose work really well. But most times I will work in silence. yes, this set off a series of pieces that was these kind of almost building sort of mountain, sort of these structure things going on in it. And yeah, I produced a few larger pieces from this, which was quite interesting, quite nice way of working. Don't always bring them out of the sketchbook, but I remember at this point sort of starting to try to think about doing that, so that there were individual pieces and not always kind of kept in the book. So there we go. So yes, at this time, okay, I'd finished this by sometime in January 22. And here you kind of see this is where I have been laying the scrim down and then staining it with marker pen or inks or whatever. So this is what the back of the book. I don't tend to do that so much now. That's from this. I tend to work actually on glass. I find that much easier, and then I can clean it off and rework and stuff. But it's quite nice having this in the sketchbook though, right at the end. Okay, look, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll catch some of the other videos, hopefully not too long for you, and you've got time to actually sort of like take some of the images on board. However, listen, I'll catch you again, and thanks for watching. Bye.